now as we mark the anniversary of Chernobyl. Many say that the world has failed to learn the lessons on nuclear safety that the tragedy provided. We're now joined by Pavel Yakovlev, the director of the Atomic Energy website. Thank you for joining us today. So just like Chernobyl, the Japanese authorities are now planning to cover the damaged reactors with a sarcophagus here. So does that mean the end is in sight?
Yes, I've been talking about it, but however, putting a sarcophagus does not necessarily mean the solving of the problem. I would argue that we need to, and the Japanese authorities need to maintain and develop a very unique, in-depth decommissioning plan, and they would ultimately have to take all the radioactive materials out of there, safely store it, reprocess some of it, and minimize the volume and keep it contained within monitored locations.
But when you talk about containment of the damaged reactors, you talk about a sarcophagus. That's a 6-month temporary fix, right?
I wouldn't say that it is a fix. I would say it's more of a populistic concept, but the scientists and the robots need to get inside. We need to know what exactly is going on within all the chambers, within the containment, and ultimately I would say we'll have to take the structure apart. And but of course this decision has to be made by the Japanese authorities only upon considering the toxicity and
well, let's talk about the fact that tomorrow will be 25 years to the day since the Chernobyl disaster. Now we have this Fukushima crisis. Are we seeing a case of possible negligence here, do you think?
No, I don't think this is a case of negligence, because since Chernobyl, nuclear power has undergone a major series of improvements in the nuclear safety. It is by far the most regulated industry. We have to undergo a very in-depth, very serious, very detailed paperwork acknowledging and describing potential risks, potential hazards. And what we have done is, in the last 25 years, we have considerably improved safety, improved the efficiency, improved the power output.
Okay, so safety has been improved. There have been more regulations introduced. Of course, no one could foresee a tsunami, an earthquake and a tsunami coming to hit the Fukushima plant. But if I may, one of the greatest fears about Chernobyl years ago was that there could be some sort of radioactive contamination with an underground water source, a river that was nearby. Now, Fukushima is a coastal plant. Are there similar concerns here?
Yes, you're probably talking about one of the biggest dangers of nuclear is the movie China Syndrome, which has put a lot of misconceptions into the minds of people, and it's been a lot difficult to continue developing nuclear power. In Chernobyl, they were actually building a tunnel, an underground tunnel, to build a reactor core catcher, thinking that this might happen, but it did not, and a lot of effort. But we did it just because of safety concerns. At Fukushima, I would think that I don't have the necessary information.
Right, if I may, I'm sorry, we're running very, very low on time here, but Japan has seen a rejuvenation in the anti-nuclear movement there, with protests in downtown Tokyo. Do you think these people's voices could be heard?
I'm sure they will be heard, and they must be heard, and this is putting a lot of pressure on the politicians, and I would ask them to choose the most science-oriented solution, not to be big on populism, but to keep with the low-cost, carbon emissions-free source of power, and use all the experience that we previously had, and to, of course, organize some kind of public information activities. The biggest thing with nuclear power is how to popularize, to present it to the public, because we have all the technology, we have all the means, we're very good on...
So there are alternate means, other methods of getting energy away from nuclear power, but Pavel Yakovlev, director of the Atomic Energy website, I'm sorry, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you for joining us.